All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Devil's Den Hockey. Tonight, the New Jersey Devils take on the Buffalo Sabres, losing 3-1 in regulation. Now, despite the fact that the Devils lost tonight, there is a little bit of a celebratory nature to tonight's game. Jack Hughes, Timo Meier, and Arseniy Gritsyuk return to the lineup. Unfortunately, the Devils couldn't get the win despite having some of their best players this year returning to the lineup, mostly Jack Hughes and Arseniy Gritsyuk. Although Meier, he's a good player regardless of the fact. So, Devils lose 3-1 in regulation to the Buffalo Sabres. The third goal is an empty netter, so really, the Devils lose 2-1. Is this a good loss? No, it's not. It can't be. You can't be the New Jersey Devils and act as if you're a contender forget the cup entirely, right? The Devils are not making it past the first or the second round based on how they're playing right now. But a contender, even for the playoffs, this is a team that you can't call yourself a contender for the playoffs and then drop games to teams like the Buffalo Sabres. Even if they are the best penalty-killing team in the league, you cannot lose to the Sabres. It just can't happen. And on a night where you have Jack returning, Timo returning, and Gritsyuk returning to the lineup, this is not a game that you can afford to drop. This is a game where you need to come out with basically your entire lineup minus Dadonov and Kovacevic and McEwen and shit like that and people like that. You basically have your full lineup ready to go here. You can't come out and then lose to Buffalo, especially in the way that we lost to Buffalo. So, first period was mostly the Devils owning the ice, especially with the return of Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes actually ended up scoring the first goal of the game to make it 1-0, and I'm thinking, oh, here we go. Jack gets his first goal in his first game back, and I'm like, oh, he's going to get like 2 or 3 goals tonight. It's going to be one of those nights. And then after Jack scores, you basically don't hear anything from the Devils for basically the rest of the game. The second period was a shit show where they were all over us. The third period, I won't call it a shit show, but like there's something about the Devils right now where they're down a goal, but there's no like, I talked about this in the past, where the Devils will be down a goal or 2 goals in the third period, and there's no oomph to their step. There's no hit. There's no passion. There's no drive. There's no effort in what they're doing. And it's just like, you guys know you're not sitting on a lead, right? You're down by a goal or two to a team that you right now have no business losing to, okay? The Sabres are one of the worst teams in the NHL for a reason. You should not be losing to these guys. You're way better than these guys. And yet, the Devils, and this isn't just a this game problem. This is an issue that I feel like we're going to have a really uncomfortable conversation about the Devils' offense. Because we can't score right now. We can't score. We'll get almost 30 shots a game, but we'll either get no goals or 1. And that's it. That's it from the Devils. And I've said it before in other videos, but I refuse to believe that a team that has Jesper Bratt, Nico Hischier, Timo Meier, and these kinds of like all-star quality guys on your team, that like, you guys can't score a goal? What's going on right now? Here's a stat for you. The New Jersey Devils' leading scorer right now, in just goals, not points, just goals, is Timo Meier. And he has 11 goals this year. The New Jersey Devils are almost 40 games into a season This means that our leading scorer, our top goal guy, is only scoring 1 goal every 4 games. I'm not saying that we need to panic about the offense, but for the kind of money that we're paying these offensive players, nobody can score. Meier's got 11. Mercer's got 10. Can someone let me know what the issue is? And it's not like we're playing incredibly good goaltenders. Buffalo's goalie tonight did an outstanding job. And I'm not trying to shit on some of the goalies in the NHL. But, if someone told me that Jesper Bratt was going to have 5 shots on net and none of them are going to go in, or Meier's going to have 7 shots on net and none of them are going to go in, or Nico Hischier's going to have 6 shots on net and none of them are going in, I worry that perhaps the forward or the offensive potential on this team is being wasted based on the amount of money that we're paying guys. Timo Meier is an $8 million player. Where are the goals, my guy? Dougie Hamilton is an offensive defenseman. He's getting paid $9 million a year. When was the last time you saw a Dougie Hamilton slap shot from the point? Answer me that, because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember the last time I saw Dougie bomb a puck to the net. If you're going to be an offensive player, you got to score goals, or we got to reevaluate the value that our offense currently brings to the game. I thought our defense played pretty good. I don't have any real complaints about the offense. About the defense. The offense, I have lots of criticisms for. The defense, I don't really have any criticisms for. I thought they played fine. I thought that Luke getting beat out in the foot race on the empty netter, I thought was a little weird. I felt he should have been able to keep up with him, but that's neither here nor there. Goaltending tonight, I don't have a lot of criticisms for Allen. The second goal, he probably needs to have. You've got one Devils guy. He's got the stick out. He's blocking it's a 2-on-1. So you got 2 Buffalo guys coming down. You've got a defender in between to block the pass. Allen needs to lock in on the shooter or the guy that currently has the puck. And he's way back almost on the goal line of his net. He pulls back. And I think he lifts his pad just a little bit. Because I think he's getting ready for that pass to go right across. And the guy who shot goes, well, if you're going to lift your pad, I'm just going to sink it right underneath of you. But, besides the second goal, I thought Allen was fine tonight. Defense and the goaltending, given everything we've had to deal with the last month, I'd say, I don't have a lot of criticisms for the goaltending and the defense right now. Right now, it's about the fact that our guys cannot put a puck in the back of the net. And it's concerning because you have all of the talent. There's no denying that. There's no denying that this team has all of the offensive ability in the world. Nico Hischier had a career year last year. Timo Meier, at the beginning of the year, looked like he was going to cook this year. He had 8 goals in a month and a half. And then Jack goes down and everybody stops scoring. Do you guys remember how hot Dawson Mercer was coming out of the gate this year? And then suddenly Ice Age. I don't understand I don't know if it's the ability that's just vamooshed, or if it's we're not caring, or we'll just wait for Jack to return, which he does tonight, and Jack ends up putting one in. Gritsyuk almost had one in. It's crazy to me that once again, I feel like the Devils are going to get put in a position where we're going to start relying on Arseniy Gritsyuk, a first-year NHL player, a rookie, to spark the offense. Hell, he almost had one tonight if it wasn't for one of the most acrobatic saves I've seen so far this year. where it's a cross-crease pass. Gritsyuk is going up the ice, goes right to the offensive zone, drops the puck off, fades to the right, waits for the pass, and one-times it, and literally the Buffalo Sabres guy goes full stretch, full albatross across the front of the net, pushes all the way to the opposite side, and just snatches the puck out of the air. It's an unbelievably good save, and Gritsyuk gets robbed. But are we in the position now where, like, it's got to be Gritsyuk or Connor Brown, who in the last 3 games has had 2 goals? Like, what's going on that our top guys can't score? I don't know. I think someone's gotta, I don't know if Keefe's gotta say something, or there's gotta be like bounty rewards where it's like, if you hit this many goals this year, we'll pay you like an extra in bonuses. Like, I don't know what's gotta happen, but like, our guys can't score to save our lives. And and I know I keep rambling on this point, but I think it's important. You go back and you watch the Devils play in the last month. They can't score. Or, like, they wait till, like, the last 3 minutes of the third period to start netting goals. And at that point, the game's practically over. But, like, I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought there. What I'm trying to say is, if you're going to have these guys get paid as much as these guys want to get paid, then you've got to do something with it. Like, you just have to. If I may make an analogy for a moment, or not even an analogy, just a comparison. You go look at the Toronto Maple Leafs right now, where you have guys like Austin Matthews and William Nylander. Austin Matthews is getting paid, what, $13.5 million? He can't put a puck in the net this year. That's a problem. That's a problem that you're paying these guys all this money because there's an expectation that they can do the one thing that they're getting paid to do, and they can't do it. And it's not for lack of trying, right? Going back to the Devils, we almost had 30 shots on net tonight. That's a healthy amount of shots. That's a really healthy amount of shots. If you can get 30 to 40 shots on net, unless the other goalie decides to be, the reincarnation of Jesus Christ and Martin Brodeur, then you're probably going to get at least 2 goals. Maybe 3 if you're lucky, but at least 2 goals. And the fact that we get these shots on net and, like, we can't produce anything is concerning. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to say for tonight's game, because I don't have a lot of criticisms for really anyone else with the forwards right now. Defense is playing fine. I mean, we lose 3-1. The third goal is an empty netter, so if you can keep the puck out of your net to like 1 or 2 goals a game, you're generally going to win. Goaltending, again, I think Allen did fine. He should have had the second goal, but overall, I thought he played, fine. He's had over 900 save percentage tonight, so he's doing his job, but, like, I don't know. And you know what? With Jack back, maybe we're going to see scoring again. Maybe we're going to see the offense take off. And you know what? In 10 games from now, if we're scoring at least 3 goals a game, I'll rescind my criticism. But if not, I feel like we're going to need to have this conversation again. On that note, guys, take it easy. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.